Good morning. I've had several students that have been emailing me and have saying, they're going to be out of school for a few days, and so I thought I'd make a video really quick just to go over what you can do, even if you're not here in the building, so that you can stay on track with everyone else. So I'd like to remind you guys that here in OneNote, this is where we're doing pretty much everything this semester. We do have a Google Classroom. If you want those codes, you can always email me and I can get them to you. But the fact is, Google Classrooms, I'm just posting lesson plans, but you can find the lesson plans in greater detail and with greater accuracy here in OneNote. So here we are. These are the lesson plans for my first period on Friday last week. Before the 3-day weekend. And so as you can see at the top of every lesson plan, I go in and I have a little paragraph where I basically say, all right, we're doing this. As you scroll down, it goes into a little greater detail. So these are some notes that we took. This was a reading. This was a worksheet. And whenever it's worksheets or readings or that kind of thing, it's going to be deposited in your folder. So remember, you have your own folder that has your name. And in there, you'll have a Unit 1 folder, a Unit 2 folder, or in the case of my physics class, a Unit 0 folder. Now, you might be saying, well, Mr. Nairn, we can't get notes because you're doing notes in class. Au contraire, you certainly can. So if you go in here, so in the lesson plans, it said we did notes on electrical flow. So see, for my physics class, they know that we're in Unit 0 right now. So you can go in Unit 0, and wouldn't you know it, here are the notes. These are the exact notes that I'm giving in class, usually in greater detail. So I don't always do all of this writing in class, although my students might argue and say, yeah, we're doing all that writing. But the thing is, I have all this stuff here, so you can get all the notes that you're missing in class. Just go to the Nairn folder, the correct unit that we're in. So we're finishing Unit 0 today in my physics class, and we're moving on into Unit 1. But you should be able to know what unit we're working on. So again, that's mine. But if it's a worksheet or something like this worksheet right here, that's going to be deposited automatically into your folder. Now, this is where I think you guys are going to be having some difficulty and where you may have some concerns. Because you might say, well, Mr. Nairn, I'm looking at the worksheet and I don't know how to do it. Okay, well, I'd like to remind you, first things first, make sure you read over the notes, okay? Make sure you look at the notes, make sure you understand, or have at least copied them down. Don't just read over them. Copy them down and take the time to do that. After you finish that, and maybe you're taking a look at a worksheet. This is a worksheet that we did on Friday. I know it says finished on 9/2, but we got a little behind, so we did it on Friday. And so if you're looking at it and you're like, I just don't know how to do it. Well, you can email me, but notice we're in the Nairn folder, so we were in lesson plans a second ago. Nairn folder Unit 1, see, I have copies of all the worksheets, and more often than not, I'm going to have some of the answers on here. So even if you're having difficulty, you can still look in the Nairn folder and look at my copy, and sometimes I write answers on there. So if you're really struggling, that's something that you can try and do. Last but not least, as we have a few more students that are maybe going to be in quarantine for a little bit, I am going to have Zooms, but understand, during this school year, you are not going to be counted present for doing a Zoom in class, and also, I'm not going to be doing a Zoom of class. I'm not going to do it again. If you have concerns about that or if you're upset about that, please let me know. I am not trying to penalize you for being ill or for playing it safe and staying at home. But we are not going to count students present just because they sent an email, just because you maybe try and attend a Zoom. That's not how things are going to work. If you are in the building, you'll be counted present. If you are not, you're going to be counted absent. If you have greater concerns about that, you can contact Kathy.Cordial at BCS, bcsemail.org. Let me check. Yeah, Kathy.Cordial at bcsemail.org if you have attendance questions. But otherwise, that's all there is to it. Now, to help some of you, if you're saying, Mr. Nairn, I just need to ask you a couple questions. Okay, great. What I intend on doing is having Zooms, having like Zoom office hours, and they're going to occur. Let's see, I guess it would be Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I have an afternoon duty. See, that's the thing, is they give me an afternoon duty and I have to be down there usually until about 3:15 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But if you are interested in having some type of office hours, let me know. But I'll also just have open office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays for you guys to ask me questions. And don't be upset, don't be concerned if you say, well, Mr. Aaron, I'm just behind. Take it easy. Make sure you're copying the notes. And worst case, if you're unable to make any of these Zooms that I do, we'll get you caught up when you get back in class. All right? It's not going to be a huge deal. Always email me if you have questions. If you can't remember, we do have a parent letter, and in the parent letter is my email. So if you're wondering, how to get in contact with me, email is definitely the best way. There it is right there. I'll leave it on the screen as I wrap this up. And also, another question I had from students, Mr. Aaron, how am I supposed to complete work? I don't have a stylus. Okay, you can buy a stylus. I'm not making you. But remember, there are 3 ways you can complete work on OneNote. Way number 1, have a stylus. Okay, we have cheaper ones that seem to work just fine for students once they get the hang of it. We have more expensive ones if you're really into that. I don't recommend that, unless you're absolutely, really, really want it. Next thing you can do, you can always click and type. Okay, you can also just use your finger. A lot of students go in here and they use this button right here, which I'll highlight, and you can use your finger. It's a little sloppier, but usually if you zoom in big enough, you can make it look neat enough. And then the last way number 3, you can always do work on a piece of paper, okay? And then look right here, insert, and we can do picture. And when you insert a picture, you can even use the camera on your laptop. Maybe you have the app on your phone. OneNote is a free app for your phone. I can help you log in with that if you're interested. But that's something else I've seen students do. So stylus or write with finger, click and type, do your work on a piece of paper, and insert the image on the worksheet that you're working on. So for my chemistry students, if they were working on this electron configuration, you could do all this on paper and then just insert a picture that you took with your phone and put it right on there. If you have questions, let me know. I hope this video will alleviate some of the stress that you guys are feeling. And don't worry, it's going to be okay. As always, I hope you're proud to be a Jet. See you when I see you.